starts right now.
This is CBS News Chicago.
Topping your 10 at 10, we are following breaking news right now in Gary, Indiana. There is a police presence in this neighborhood. It's Adams near 7th Avenue. Here is another live picture of that scene from our crews on the ground. You can see a SWAT vehicle there out front. We've seen officers carrying long guns in the area this morning. We know the coroner's office is also on the scene. We have reached out to Gary Police for more information, including if anyone may have been hurt. We will share updates as soon as we have them. Also breaking this morning, a kayaker is rescued, but the search for a second has intensified. First responders are desperately trying to find another kayaker who disappeared on the Fox River in St. Charles. You're looking at video of the scene in daylight, and it is an active search with officers working both on the ground and in the water. This started in the overnight hours when the call for a missing person came in around 12:30. Search boats near First and Creek Park slowly surveyed the water, shining bright lights, hoping to find that kayaker. Here is video coming in right now from the scene. It looks like officials are updating the public about this search. We are listening in, and we'll share that information coming up in our news at 11. Now to a tsunami warning that led to gridlock in Hawaii. Excuse me. You can see cars bumper to bumper in Honolulu, and it's people scared trying to escape those low-lying areas. This started after an 8.8 magnitude earthquake that we saw yesterday, one of the strongest ever recorded. It struck overnight off of Russia's eastern coast and then caused ripple effects all the way to the United States. We're now looking live at San Francisco Bay, where folks there were on alert. That alert has since ended. We now want to check in with our Mary Gonzalez, who is reporting from California.
Many along the Pacific coast are breathing a sigh of relief as they were bracing for the aftermath of one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded. That earthquake, a 8.8 magnitude earthquake off of Russia's eastern coast. Now here in Southern California, things are relatively calm, but meteorologists with the National Weather Service says we should remain alert as we continue to monitor this situation. Some parts of this area saw waves, tsunami waves, up to 1.6 feet, and we know that the northern part of the state, some parts along the coast there are still under tsunami warning. Those tsunami advisories remain in effect here. Now, the aftermath of this huge earthquake could be felt all across the globe. We know that in Japan and in Russia, nearly 2 million people were evacuated. Evacuations also happened in Hawaii, where we saw some waves up to 5 feet. Now, those evacuations have been lifted, but officials there are not giving the all clear as they continue to assess this situation. Now, back here in Southern California, officials are asking people to continue to stay away from the beaches, from the piers, and from the harbors. And piers like the one here in Manhattan Beach remain closed until around 6 a.m. local time. Local officials here say people should heed these warnings and stay away from these areas until all of these alerts have been lifted. Reporting in Manhattan Beach, California, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
Maribel, thank you. Back here at home in Chicago's Edgewater neighborhood, firefighters rescued a man from Lake Michigan. This happened overnight at Osterman Beach. The 39-year-old now in critical condition. Police are currently investigating why he was in the water after midnight. He was rescued around 12:30. Chicago police say a man was robbed and then shot in the Avondale neighborhood. Officers say the 37-year-old was walking near Milwaukee and Belmont just before 9 last night when a man came up to him and stole his things. We are told the victim gave him what he wanted, but when he ran, the gunman shot him in the leg. Right now, the victim's in the hospital in good condition. Police are looking for that suspect. The Chicago man who's facing several hate crime charges will stay behind bars. Philip Dominguez was in court yesterday, accused of spray painting swastikas and other hateful graffiti on a number of buildings in Little Village. Court documents show that he turned himself in after seeing surveillance pictures of himself on the news. Dominguez told investigators he was motivated by anger against Palestinians and immigration issues. The family of a man shot and killed at Navy Pier back in November is now filing a wrongful death lawsuit. 47-year-old Peter Jennings worked for Levy Restaurants and was shot and killed in his office. The accused gunman also worked for that company but was fired a few days earlier. Jennings' family is now suing the suspect, the parent company where Jennings worked, and Navy Pier. The second man was shot and killed in that same incident. Old Orchard Mall in Skokie is open today, less than 24 hours after being on lockdown. There was a huge police presence after someone told officers they saw a person inside one of those stores with a gun. Skokie police ultimately say it was two people who got into an argument. CBS Skywatch was over that scene as officers took two people into custody. We asked police if a gun was ever recovered. They told us the investigation is still active. We are trading extreme heat today for strong storms. Another weather alert for us in the Chicago area. Meteorologist David Yeomans timing out today's rain.
Maria, I hope folks brought their umbrella as they're heading out and about today. We're getting some new computer model forecasts in that are very consistent with what we told you yesterday and this morning. 1 to 2 inches of rain expected from now through tomorrow morning. Some isolated bullseyes, though, of 3 to 5 inches could cause localized flood problems. Since you went to bed last night, the National Weather Service has issued a flood watch for basically all of our area, including Chicago, from 1 p.m. today through 1 p.m. tomorrow. Multiple waves of storms, and each of them could drop an inch or two. The first wave pulling in from the west. It's dry so far in Chicago, but here it comes into the I-39 corridor. Some stronger thunderstorms, but nothing severe approaching LaSalle County, and some steadier rain in DeKalb County shortly. Futurecast a little bit behind compared to where the line is in reality, but here it comes into our western counties over the next hour or two. Into Chicago, we think, between about noon and 1 p.m. Some of these storms could be strong with wind gusts over 50 miles an hour. Torrential rain, a guarantee for most of us at times today. Behind that first line, we will see some storm redevelopment. Now, as we get later in the evening, this is less severe thunderstorms. It's more just steady rain. But notice how it really continues through the evening and the overnight in Chicago. This could lead to additional flooding problems as you're getting up to get where you're going tomorrow. After some 6 a.m. showers, drier air and cooler air wrap up the rain in time for Lollapalooza. North winds for the next several days will create massive waves at the beach, 5 to 8 foot waves, leading to a beach hazard statement for the next couple of days. Today, 81 degrees with heavy rain and falling temperatures. Overnight tonight, first night in the 60s in a while, with some periods of heavy rain continuing. This is our last weather alert as the rain clears out tomorrow. Beautiful weather for Lollapalooza. Keep in mind, though, it will be a little bit hazy Thursday and Friday as a bit of Canadian wildfire smoke blows back in. Marie, back to you.
David, thank you. There was an emotional vigil last night for the victims of the deadly shooting in New York City this week. New York leaders joined the community to pray for the 4 people killed in Tuesday night's attack. Investigators say the shooter drove from his home in Las Vegas to target the headquarters of the NFL in Manhattan. Surveillance cameras captured that photo of the moment the gunman approached the building carrying this semi-automatic weapon. Police released the image of the M4 assault rifle used in the attack as leaders called for stricter gun control measures.
This is the time to stand up and say no more slaughter.
We cannot respond to senseless gun laws through vigils. It must be responded through legislation.
You're looking now at some images obtained by CBS News of the suicide note found in the gunman's wallet. He wrote, quote, "Football gave me CTE," which is the brain disease linked to head injuries in sports. The note also referenced the NFL, saying the league knowingly concealed the dangers. The Justice Department wants more information on the Jeffrey Epstein case unsealed. In a memo, Attorney General Pam Bondi cites intense public interest as justification for the judge to consider releasing additional records. We spoke with Illinois Congresswoman Robin Kelly about House Speaker Mike Johnson's decision to call a recess instead of holding a vote on releasing those documents.
There's the discharge petition, and if 218 people sign it, which is the majority, in the House, then he's supposed to call the bill. And I think he saw that coming. So that's why he let us go. And there's a bipartisan bill by two of my colleagues that is really pushing this.
Additional information on this case could be problematic for President Trump. Questions have emerged over how much he knew about Epstein's sex trafficking activities. This comes as the chairman of the Oversight Committee says there will be no immunity offer for convicted sex trafficker and Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell. She previously said she will talk to Congress with immunity or a pardon only after the Supreme Court rules on her appeal. Maxwell has been subpoenaed by Congress for a deposition scheduled early next month. Chicago Public Schools is getting ready for kids to head back to school. Today, a fun-filled event planned for students and families. Just yesterday, CPS hosted a back-to-school party at Columbus Park. Today's event will be from 12 to 4 in Winnemac Park. Bring your umbrella. There's also one next Tuesday in Petrosky Park, another next Thursday in Gately Park. And for those of you counting down, school starts August 18th. We now want to turn to breaking news in St. Charles, where crews are searching for a missing kayaker. We just learned that they are still looking for that person. And authorities tell us the search has switched from a search rescue mission to a recovery mission. St. Charles Fire says that they responded to a call just after 9:30 last night of a person in the water after their kayak flipped and they did not surface. Crews searched for 7 hours before suspending that rescue operation. Our Marissa Perlman is on the scene. She will have a live update for us on our news at 11. Right now, officials are sharing new details on the search. They're taking questions. Let's listen in.
With the Department of Natural Resources, I'm the commander of the Northeast Zone for Conservation Police. It is. It's a mouthful. I got a big card.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming.
All right, much more on the search for that kayaker coming up at 11. For now, that's your 10 at 10 nonstop news. We're back with more of your top stories after this.